Hi children, welcome back to your science class. Today we are going to discuss nest of birds. Nest of birds. As we all know, birds are living in the nest. Why do birds make nest? Yes, birds make nest to live. Birds make nest to live. Then birds make nest to lay egg. Yes, lay egg. That is the another reason birds are making nest to lay eggs. Then to protect their babies. Next reason we can say that to protect their babies. Protect their babies. Then any other reasons are there for birds make nest, children? Yes, we can say one more reason. Birds can protect themselves from other animals. To protect themselves. Protect themselves from other animals. Okay, to protect themselves from other animals. And we can say that to protect from heat, rain, cold. Isn't it? To protect from heat, cold, rain. Okay, these are some reason birds make their nest. So how do the birds make nest, children? Why do the birds make nest? Birds make nest to live, to lay egg, to protect their babies, and to protect themselves from other animals, and to protect from heat, rain, cold, etc. Okay, for all these reasons the birds are making nest. Then we know the birds are using different materials to build their nest. Can you say some of the materials the birds use to build their nest? Yes, they use some material. Which are the materials the birds use to build their nest, children? To build nest. Yes, which are the materials used by the birds to build their nest? Yes, grass. Leaves. Then we know twigs. Branches. Eggshells. Straws, feathers. These all are some materials used by the birds to build their nest. You already learned in the second standard what are the materials used by the birds to build their nest. Yes, the birds use grass, leaves, twigs, straw, branches, eggshells, feathers, and some birds use mud also to build their nest. So we studied some why do the birds build their nest and what are the materials used by the birds to build their nest. Next we have to study about different types of nest. Okay, next we can discuss about types of nest. We know different birds make different types of nest. Why different birds make different types of nest? Yes, the birds make nest depending on the place where they stay. Okay, where the birds make their nest? The birds make their nest depending on the place where they stay. So we know some birds, they live or they can fly at long distances, right? This kind of birds make their nest on tall trees. For example, eagle, vulture. They are making their nest on the tall trees. But some birds, they cannot fly at long distances. They can fly only short distances. They will make their nest on the small trees. They make their nest on the tall trees. Some birds, they cannot fly at long distances. However, they make their nest? They make their nest on the small trees, the branches of small trees. Then some birds, they cannot fly. However, they make their nest? Yes, they make their nest on the ground. So according to the place where they stay. Depending on that only the birds are making their nest. Okay, so the birds make nest in different places. According to it is depending on the places where they stay. So the bird, they can fly at long distances, make their nest on tall tree. The bird, they cannot fly at they cannot fly at long distances. They will make their nest on the branches of small trees. And the birds, they cannot fly, they are making the nest on the ground. Okay, peacock, duck and all, they cannot fly at they can fly only few distances, so they cannot make their nest on trees. Okay, so where they make their nest, they make their nest on the ground. Okay, so that is why the birds are making different types of nest according to the place where they stay. Okay, so next we have to study some types of nest. So first we can discuss the nest of sparrow. How the sparrow make their nest, children? How the sparrow make their nest? They collect twigs, straws and all through their beak. They use their beak. Not only sparrows, all the birds use their beak to build their house, their nest. Okay, so birds use their beak to build their nest. So the sparrows collect twigs, straws and all through their beak, and they make the nest on tree or nest on the branches of tree. Okay, the next we have to discuss the Next we have to discuss the nest of weaver bird. How weaver bird is making nest, children? Weaver bird's nest, we can see it hangs upside down. It can be seen on the branches of the tree. How it look like, children? It hangs upside down. Okay, so how is the nest of weaver bird? Weaver bird's nest hangs upside down. Okay, so this is the way only the nest of weaver bird. Next bird's nest, it is tailor bird. How tailor bird is making nest, children? Tailor bird's nest. Tailor bird use leaves. They stitches leaves to make their nest. Okay, stitches leaves to make their nest. So this is the way only tailor bird is making nest. So we studied some types of nest now. Yes, sparrow. How sparrow is making nest? They collect twigs, straws through their beak and make their nest on the branches of tree. Okay, the next weaver bird. Weaver bird's nest hangs upside down, and there will be a small hole will be there. A small entrance will be there. So this bird, weaver bird, is a small bird, so it can easily get inside the hole because it is a small bird. Okay, the next one, it is tailor bird. Tailor bird stitches leaves together to make their nest. Okay, so these are the different nest of birds. So today we studied why do birds make their nest, what are the materials birds use to make nest, then why different birds make different types of nest we studied, and what different types of materials, different types of nest also we discussed. Now everybody take your workbook. Page number 27. Page number 27. Nest of birds. Nest of birds. So in the table you can see some type of nest. So we have to identify the nest and what are the materials used to make this nest. We have to write in the next column what materials are used by these birds to build this kind of nest. And next column what we have to write, which bird makes a nest like this and why. So first picture, everybody look at first picture. Which bird's nest is this, children? Yes, it is the nest of woodpecker. It is the nest of woodpecker. What materials are used to make this nest? Yes, these birds, we know woodpecker has chisel shaped beak. We studied very sharp beak, so it can easily make hole on the tree trunk, isn't it? So which is the material? What materials are used by the birds to build this kind of nest? Tree trunk. So next column what we have to write? Tree trunk. Then which bird makes a nest like this? Why? Which bird make like nest like this? Yes, it is woodpecker. Why? Woodpecker has sharp beak to make holes in tree trunk. Okay, so woodpecker has sharp beak to make holes in tree trunk. Okay, that is the answer you have to write. Then second picture, which bird's nest is this, children? Yes, it is the nest of weaver bird. It is the nest of weaver bird. What materials are used by the birds to build this nest? Yes, here you have to write straw. Straws are used. Okay, then how this kind of which bird makes this nest like this and why? Yes, we already told weaver bird, because it is a small bird. Weaver bird, it is a small bird to get inside the hole. It can easily get inside the hole because it is a small bird. Okay, so this is the way you have to write the answer. Weaver bird, it is small to get inside the hole. Okay, next picture, it is the nest of sparrow. It is the nest of sparrow. What are the materials used by the birds to build this kind of nest? Twigs, branches, etc. Twigs, branches, all used by sparrows to build this kind of nest. Then so which bird make this nest? We told it is sparrow. Why? It can fly and also use its beak to collect straws. Okay, so what is the answer you have to write? This bird's name, it is sparrow. Sparrow make this kind of nest. It is the nest of sparrow. So you can write there sparrow. It can fly and also use its beak to collect straws. Okay. Then next picture you can see, it is the nest of vulture. It can be found on tall trees, isn't it? It is the branch of tall trees. So what are the materials used by the birds to build this kind of nest? Yes, dry twigs and branches. Dry twigs and branches. Then which bird make this kind of nest? It is vultures. It is vultures. Why? How the vultures can make this kind of nest? Because it can fly really high. It can fly really high. It can fly at long distances. So this kind of birds can make nest on tall trees. Okay, so this is the nest of vulture. So you can write vultures. They can fly really high. Okay. Then second question is, why do different birds make different kinds of nests? Different birds make different kinds of nest depending on the place where they stay. Okay, different birds make different kinds of nest depending on the place where they stay. Next question, which birds make this type of nest? Give reason for your answer. So next, which birds make this type of nest? Give reason for your answer. So which bird make this kind of nest, children? Yes, the birds, they cannot fly. The birds, they cannot fly. They make their nest on the ground. Okay, so this nest we can see on the ground. So which bird is making the nest on ground? The birds, they cannot fly. Make their nest on the ground or in the middle of tall grasses. They used to make their nest. Okay, so you can write the birds, they cannot fly. They make their nest on the ground. Okay, so this much only you have to do the workbook. Now we have to discuss the practice questions. Practice question. Yes, 6, 7 and 8 is remaining. So sixth question is, what do birds use to build their nest? So we already told the materials used by the birds to build their nest. Yes, which are the materials? Grass, leaves, feathers, eggshells, straws, twigs, branches, etc. The birds used to build their nest. Describe any two kind of nest. So we can describe about the nest of weaver bird and tailor bird. Weaver bird's nest hangs upside down. And tailor birds, how the tailor bird is making their nest? Tailor bird stitches two leaves to build their nest. So tailor bird stitches the leaves to build their nest. Weaver bird's nest hangs upside down. Okay, this is the way you can write. Or you can write other bird's nest also. That you can write on your own answers you can give. Okay. How do beaks and claws help a bird live in its surroundings? So we already studied how do the beak help the bird. Beak help them to catch their food and make nest. The birds use beak to catch their food and to make nest. And how do the claws help them? Yes, claws and feet help them to walking around to catch their food. Okay, so how the beak help them? Beak help them to catch their food and make nest. And feet and claws help them to walk around and catch their food. Walking around and catch their food. This much enough for today's class. So we completed block 4. So next class we will start our new block. Okay, so we will meet in the next class. Okay, bye.